Your name is Karan Tacker.
My name is Karan Tacker.
It is not for Instagram.
I do get that a lot. This is my first podcast. Yeah. I don't think women are looking necessarily for a good-looking guy. They're more often looking for kinder men. You must be really getting it. Please give me a sanitized way to say this.
Physical intimacy is
Oh my
in surplus.
ये suddenly ऐसा लगता है podcast दूरदर्शन English में आने वाला.
Do you find yourself, because of the industry, making love, finding love?
Making love? Yeah.
Very different conversation now, guys. Do you think finding love is harder when you are in the industry?
I do see equations between people where there's a power play of one person being more famous. I can't hack situationships. I found myself in one, when I recently got single and I was on this outdoor schedule and I was shooting. I've been ghosted also once. We're having like dinners with my family and I'm a triple threat. I'm a nice looking guy who lives in Andheri and has done TV. So I am somebody who will never get work in this industry. I used to host a lot of IFAs, I used to host a lot of reality shows.
Correct.
I stopped doing every single thing on television. 7.5 साल ब्रेक लेके मुझे काम मिला था.
आपकी 7.5 ही चल रही थी.
और मैं बोलता हूँ कि मेरी 7.5 ही चल रही थी.
लक्ष्य 7 साल तक काम नहीं मिला. Raghav Juyal, he had to voluntarily vanish for 5 years. There's a stigma that TV actors aren't taken seriously.
100%. I met a leading PR person in this and they told me, stop doing everything television. To an extent, don't even click photos with actors from TVs who are your friends. TV में भी सिर्फ 3 channels थे. आई थिंक स्टार, सोनी एंड जी, इफ आई एम नॉट मिस्टेकन. 3 चैनल पे 3 शो आया करते थे. अगर आप 9 हीरो में से हीरो नहीं हो तो आपका उस साल में काम नहीं है. टेलीविजन के कंटेम्परेरीज देख सकता हूँ, मतलब विक्रांत मेरिड, सुशांत मेरिड. आउटसाइडर्स का सक्सेसफुल होना बहुत जरूरी है. मैं जब कार्तिक को भी मिलता हूँ, कार्तिक आर्यन, आई टेल हिम, मैन, मोर पावर टू यू यार. लुक एट व्हाट ही इज डन विद हिमसेल्फ. हमारी ना 1 हफ्ते डेट पोस्टपोन हो गई थी. मुझे हिंदी में गालियां आई.
अरे बाप रे.
तो मुझे बड़ा अच्छा लगा. मैं कहा इसका मतलब लोग इतना ही बेसब्री से इंतजार कर रहे हैं. शी सडनली टेकन ऑफ a bunch of layers of her clothes and I'm like, is this okay? He's like, this is okay. So I'm like, Denzel Washington walks next to you.
Oh man.
Dakota Johnson, Jason Momoa at one arm's distance. So I'm not joking, this is what happened with me. मेरी पहली जो 6 साल की इनकम थी ना, वो सिर्फ बिजनेस लोन उतारने में निकल गई. I was living with my family in the godown of my office. I said, Dad, let's just run. He's like, no, we'll fight it. सपने देखने से कोई किसी को रोक नहीं सकता.
किसी को मुकम्मल जहां नहीं मिलता, किसी को जमीन, किसी को आसमान नहीं मिलता.
बिल्कुल.
Hi Karan.
What's up?
Welcome to the Humans of Bombay show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for doing this with us.
No, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. You're the man in demand right now. There's so much of your stuff coming out.
Right.
We were just discussing, you're one of those people that likes and does not like promotions, depends on how the conversation goes. So
that is so true.
The onus is on us to make sure that this is a conversation that you go saying कि हाँ ये ठीक था.
ये मजा आया था.
हाँ ये अच्छा क्या कर लिया.
मुझे feeling आ रही है because we had a good chat even offhand before this started, so
Correct.
it's been fun.
चलो, good. That's a good start to this. We talking to people in the office.
Right.
There was research happening here. Okay, how do we do this podcast? What do we ask him? A lot has already been asked. Of course, we'll talk about your career and work and all of that stuff because that's an integral part of who you are.
Okay.
But when looks at you or Googles you or looks at your image, the first thing that comes to your mind is that, okay, that's a Biba Munda. That's the Raymond man. It's a complete man. He's a good looking guy. Then when you see him act, he's good at what he does. He speaks well, is well put together. Clearly has worked on his fitness. So you are the quintessential, Instagram good man that people look up to and want to be, right? But perfection sometimes, being that perfect man, can be a lonely place. Has this, your appearance and the way you are and the way you're put together, has that ever led to you being in a place where you feel like, हाँ ये सब तो है, but sometimes because of that, I feel lonely?
Wow, I don't know, one, if I should say thank you for you giving me a compliment or be like, well, I've never really thought of it, from this bent. I mean, first of all, regardless, thank you.
Yeah.
Not at all. I mean, I personally don't really objectify myself like that, and thank God for that.
Yeah.
That I'm never thinking that, oh my God, I look or I behave perfect. Being a Biba Munda, yes, that does come with the upbringing that I have, and credits to my parents. I think both my sister Sasha and I, we'd like to believe that we're fairly well brought up as 2 Punjabi kids. Also, I had my school actually had a lot to do with it. I went to a school which is an Arya Samaji school, which was Arya Vidya Mandir in Bandra.
Okay.
And that really instilled a lot of values in us as students. And fortunately for me, it was very similar values at home. So I think they really stuck at a very early age. I don't quite know if that comes in the way, but sometimes I do joke with my parents that, and this is going to sound very conceited, that, you should have not made us such, walk on a straight line kind of kids. A little bit of, being twisted would have really helped us, out in the field, because I think, sometimes in some dark moments, I'm like, I was a bit more shrewd in life, which I have a tough time kind of being. But no, I've never really thought of it from this necessarily. But yes, given the fraternity that we're from, where looks is the first thing that comes in the way of casting for a character.
Correct.
Sometimes, actually, most of the times, I do get that you look a certain way, so it doesn't feel very in alignment with what we're casting. I'm trying to really put this nicely so that
you're being modest. I'll tell you what.
No, it's not that. I don't want the headline for this to become कि यार people say कि आप good looking और इसलिए आप इसके लिए fit नहीं होते. But हाँ वो आता है, because especially with the last show that I did, I did a show for Amazon, which is not out yet.
Okay.
I'm not trying to use this as a path for promoting, because that's far out. But because I sat on casting for that and Khaki, I truly understood why you cast and how you cast, right? So today I can look at where this comes from. When as a maker you're looking at an actor and you're like, what? There's a specific, like when we were casting for Khaki for the wife's part opposite my character Amit, we wanted someone who's pretty, but not someone who's very obviously pretty. So it's a very weird way to kind of say it, because it's you are objectifying someone on, let's say, the basis of
their looks.
The look, but that's the nature of the beast. So we did a lot of look tests of doing scenes with an actor and me, and that's when we finally came up with who we went forward with. Of course, this is not my decision. This is the decision of everybody else. But that's when you start understanding that why casting happens a certain way. So yes, to put it the most nicely, yes, it does hamper a lot of things. Though I get such a weird reaction to the way that I look. Because some people are like you, like I'm very thankful to you doing this on your podcast, because I'd like a little bit of an image clean over, because sometimes people think that I'm a really good guy and sometimes people think the exact opposite of that.
Why?
I fail to understand, I really do.
Is it because I think यार इतना अच्छा दिख रहा है तो कुछ तो गड़बड़ होगी,
कुछ तो होगा, मतलब कि कुछ तो off होगा. So I do get that a lot.
Also asking this because there's this concept on the internet that is because now we give labels to everything. Correct. Right? That's the new.
I'm really curious where you're going with this.
Yeah, the Gen Z way to do it. It's called something called pretty privilege, where people can get away with things that normally other people wouldn't because they're good looking. Because you tend to trust them more. Yeah.
Does that work with men?
Apparently works with both, but in this case it seems like it's working the opposite way. So is it a weird place to be like यार ये मतलब अच्छी चीज भी है but मैंने तो नहीं मांगा, but अब इसकी वजह से मैं काम खो रहा हूँ, then I don't want to do what is that headspace?
I don't actually, I've never really looked at it this way. I'm being very honest. I don't want to sound prudent when I say this, but I've never really thought that the way that I look externally is allowing me into rooms, because I feel like that's the first thing that goes out of the window, right? Because I feel like looks is so immediate as a response.
Right.
Then it's like the first response to somebody, but there's so much beyond that, right?
Correct.
So I've never really given the way that I look any importance, because I feel like I have to be much more than that.
Fair.
So when I work on myself, even as a human being, it's not like I'm actively doing it. But the idea is that I really enjoy reading. I love learning. I have a natural sense of wonderment. So I invest a lot of time in all of that, because even with the a lot of times that I get that I work out and stuff.
Yeah.
I've never worked out in my life to look a certain way. If anything, my characters decide the way that I look.
Okay.
I work out every single day of my life because I feel like that's what prepares me for the rest of the day. Life is tough, man. Life is extremely tough, right? So it's never a day that you're having which is 100% good.
Correct.
So for me, first thing in the morning when I wake up and I roll out of bed and I'm in the gym, it's more of a mindset thing for me than the way that I look. And I've always felt that you look nice as a side effect to whatever exercise you do.
Yeah.
So for me, it's always been mental.
But do you think it's different in TV versus OTT? Because there has been this narrative for very long that in TV there is a specific look that is required. You need to be a certain way. You need to look nice on screen.
ये पता नहीं है, मेरा ऐसा मानना नहीं है. मुझे तो लगता है कि आज की तारीख में everyone looks nice, because if you dial back about 15 years, there was zero exposure of what kind of clothes to wear, what kind of hairstyles to have. There was nothing like a beard for men. I feel like now everyone has a great upkeep. If anything, most of the times I find myself underdressed in places or looking not the most well put together, because I think today everyone puts in a lot of effort to look nice.
Correct.
While I understand where you're coming from, that television does have a certain external appeal, because I feel like that's the medium as well.
Correct.
Because if you most people don't understand, India is not Bombay, Delhi, and the metros.
Correct.
When I studied management, right, we were taught that the bulk of your country, which is 70% of the people, are not in your metros. So when you sell a toothpaste, you're not selling the toothpaste. What you want to sell is दंत मंजन.
Correct.
Because maximum आपकी पब्लिक वही कंज्यूम करती है. तो टेलीविजन टेक्निकली वो है.
Correct.
तो जिनकी जिंदगियां उस लेवल पर चल रही हैं, उनको एस्पिरेशन देखना है. अब एस्पिरेशन क्या होता है लाइफ में? अच्छी जिंदगी किन चीज़ों से डिफाइन होती है? कि आपके पास ठीक ठाक पैसे हो, अच्छी गाड़ी हो, अच्छा घर हो, अच्छे फैमिली रिलेशनशिप्स हो, और आप दिखने में अच्छे हो. तो इसलिए टेलीविजन का एक सर्टन फॉर्मेट है जो वो फॉलो करता है, और वो बड़ा ही ब्यूटीफुल फॉर्मेट है. जहाँ when someone who's जो 9 to 5 कर रहा है, सुबह बस में जा रहा है, बस में वापस आ रहा है, रात के 11 बजे खाना खा रहा है, सुबह वापस 6 बजे उठ के उसको पानी भरना है अपना खुद का नहाने के लिए, उसको जिंदगी में फिर रिलेटेबिलिटी नहीं चाहिए, उसको वो खूबसूरत जिंदगी देखनी है.
Correct.
तो मैं मानता हूँ कि हाँ टेलीविजन वैसा है, पर यार सारे फिल्म एक्टर्स गुड लुकिंग है यार. मतलब which today Ranbir Kapoor is one of the nicest looking guys. You've got Ranveer Singh. I think all the heroines are just gorgeous.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I really would like to believe that makers are creative enough to envision an actor to look a different way.
Correct. No, that's a very good point you said. I think there was this, I don't remember who said this in an interview somewhere, that there was this debate going on about यार हम अभी भी ये एक स्पेसिफिक तरह की पिक्चरें क्यों बनाते हैं? Why are we not making movies that are very relatable to everyday life? And I think it was some director who said this कि क्योंकि वो रोज जी रहे हैं ना.
Correct.
जो आपको लग रहा है उनका संघर्ष है, आप उनको दिखाओगे, बट वो उनकी रियलिटी है. वो रोज वही जी रहे हैं. एंड अब वो आफ्टर वर्किंग सो हार्ड दे पुट सम मनी असाइड टू कम ऑन अ सैटरडे संडे टू कम.
उनको रियलिटी चेक नहीं चाहिए.
उनको मालूम रोज मिलता है, एवरी डे. उनको देखना है लार्जर देन लाइफ.
I feel like actors also, and we as an industry, we love to glorify the art that we're a part of, right? And I feel like eventually it's entertainment.
Correct.
While I love what I do with all my heart, but I feel like it doesn't need to necessarily. I don't need to be celebrated as an actor. There is absolutely nothing that I've done which is different than anybody else in this room. So why unnecessarily over celebrate your art also?
Correct. And आपको लगता है ऑडियंस का परसेप्शन इफेक्ट होता है मूवीज से? एंड आई एम आस्किंग दिस बिकॉज ये भी एक कॉन्वर्सेशन है तो बहुत चलती है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई गिव कॉन्टेक्स्ट. इन मोस्ट रिसेंट टाइम्स द कॉन्वर्सेशन हैड erupted when a movie like Animal came, and people were like, and both sides of the argument hold merit. One people are like, no, filmmakers have to be careful about what they're showing, and other people like, if films were the medium to teach people, then हमने बहुत अच्छी चीज़ें भी सिखाई हैं. That can't be. We're just showing society as is. On that spectrum, where have you found your experience to lie?
See, I don't. While cinema did start, if you look back at time, with social messaging, right? I feel like we're in a very different time. I don't think cinema is the only diktat. There is so much more to conditioning. Today, the internet in general is open to every single person out there for exactly what they want to consume.
Correct.
And how they want to consume it.
Correct.
I personally don't think a 3-hour narrative is going to change someone who's been living their lives for the last 20-30 years. So I personally don't believe that. I feel like, yes, if tomorrow any film that you mentioned, for example, changes a part of somebody, it's because that part already existed in them, right? You're just finding relatability to go out there and express the same. And maybe I'm being, maybe this is an immature thought, I'm not quite sure. But I don't think that film is what made anyone do something. They would have done it regardless of that film, if not today, then tomorrow. So I don't think that. And sometimes, see, the flip side can also happen.
As in?
आप कभी किसी को कुछ गलत करते हुए देखते हैं,
हाँ,
तो आप ये भी इंसान बन सकते हैं जो बोले कि यार मैं ऐसा नहीं बनना चाहता. ये भी पॉसिबिलिटी है ना. So I feel like whatever is happening is a reflection of society, but I necessarily don't think that today's generation is sitting back and being like, I want to be like this.
Yeah, fair.
I recently saw Dar again. I felt like, while of course, Shah Rukh Khan is Shah Rukh Khan, but nobody gave him as much credit as he deserved to play a Dar and a Bazigar at the point in his career and to really go out there and become Shah Rukh Khan.
Correct.
Right? We look back at it in hindsight now and be like, oh, that were great decisions, But sitting as an actor at that time, especially where there was nothing like an anti-hero in Hindi films. You know, it was only a villain or a hero. To go out there and do something so bold and then to become the most romantic and most loved and most loving man on screen. That's interesting. So an anti-hero would be really interesting.
Yeah, you know, and there's a very interesting story about Dar. Aamir Khan said it in an interview recently, and I think I'm remembering it correctly. He said he wasn't Dar first. He was playing the role. But I think his vision for the character was very different from what the makers were envisioning. So it didn't work out.
Okay.
So then they went with, chalo theek hai, nahi ho pa raha, koi baat nahi, we'll figure out something else in the future. And then that's how the opportunity opened up and Shah Rukh got the part.
Even Bazigar, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean...
talk about timing.
Like, it's crazy. Like, to think a leading man to throw his girlfriend off the terrace for a vested interest.
Correct.
And still get the love of the audience at the end of the film.
Yeah.
You know, like the audience is still rooting for the guy.
Correct.
And you're empathetic towards him. So...
it's crazy.
So I feel like an underdog story of an anti-hero is just... It's unbelievable. Second, I love 90s cinema जहाँ पे you had revenge stories. कि तूने मतलब, you know, मैं गिरे हुए पैसे नहीं उठाता या तूने मेरी... How did you speak to my mother like that? Or you know, you're fighting for something that someone did wrong in your family, or you know, to your
rebel for a cause.
So yeah, so I love those.
Yeah, nice, damn nice, very interesting. All right, coming back to the track that you're discussing about, right? We spoke about the impact of what looks can have on your professional life.
Right.
I do want to take it in a very interesting way on the other side of the coin, which is, do you think that has an impact on your personal life, in the sense and this is a conversation that we were very interestingly having on our lunch table once, that do you think looks,
not discussing me though,
do you think looks impact love? And again came from the discussion of somebody said good-looking people have it easy. And people are like, no, it's not always the case. Maybe that's because people might be like, I want to be with this person because I like the way they look, or I like the way they are. I like the idea of that person, but I don't know about the person. Has that ever been a case in your life? Have you felt that way? Have you experienced that on the other side of it, where you, felt that for someone?
You know, this is such a weird conversation to have because you're constantly speaking about looks, and I'm meant to talk about myself, putting myself in high regard.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something, and I don't know how much you'll like get what I'm going to try to articulate. More often, if not, if you're like, let's say, if what the assumption of good looking is, and let's say you are a good looking, be it a man or a woman, most people think you're already sorted in life.
Correct.
Right? Which is that you probably have a partner. If you don't have, and in all probability, you have multiple partners. So you become off, like, you're like, you know what? For example, this guy must really be, I don't know what's the nice
off the market
podcast way to say it.
Yeah, off the market.
But he must be really getting it. Right? Please give me a sanitized way to say this so that I don't sound like...
physical intimacy is in surplus.
बहुत heavy हो गया. ये suddenly ऐसा लगता है podcast दूरदर्शन English में आने वाला. I'm trying to find an alternative word to it. But I mean, okay, most of the times this is exactly what happens with if you're fairly nice looking, that people think that you already must be with somebody.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's the best way to put it. You must be with somebody, and the honest truth is that you're not. I mean, I'm single, right? So no, yeah, I think if you look, your looks do come in the way, especially for a man. I think I don't think women are looking necessarily for a good looking guy. They're looking for they're more often looking for kinder men. At least that's what I would like to believe. So yes, I think looks just really stops at the door. Like, you can walk into a door and someone might notice you for that 1 minute, and of course that's the entry point to any equation between a man and a woman, or between anybody. But I feel like that's where it ends. Especially for me, let's say if I'm not talking about myself and I'm talking about a woman, of course, who doesn't like someone who's beautiful or who's breathtaking? And I feel like everyone's got their own idea of what is beautiful to them, right?
Correct.
But after that, it's so much personality.
Yeah.
Also we're not. I mean, I'm at that age in life where I need a conversation, and I think that's what makes a person more beautiful.
Yeah. fair. But do you find yourself, because of the industry, making love or finding love?
Making love, yeah. I mean,
Now that you're going in that direction, I guess this is a
I
different...
don't quite know if it's because of the industry.
It's a very different conversation now, guys. No, but do you think finding love is harder when you're in the industry?
Like in what way? Give me context.
Because a lot of people might want to associate with you because they've seen you on screen.
I'm not that famous, yeah. I don't think girls are like walking up like, I want to be with Karan because he's a famous guy.
No, but there is a good level of fame attached to you, and it's aspirational. Being an actor is aspirational in India, right? Cricket, politics, Bollywood are the three most aspirational fields in the country.
Right.
So when there's somebody there who's made a good name for themselves, people do get attracted to that quality. That I'd love to live their life, or I have to be their friends, or I'd love to be in their relationship.
मेरे को लगता है बॉम्बे में नहीं होता इतना, क्योंकि मेरा ऐसा मानना है कि बॉम्बे में सभी एक्टर हैं.
Correct.
ये पूरा शहर ही एक्टरों से भरा हुआ है. अगर एक्टर नहीं तो मॉडल्स हैं, अगर मॉडल्स नहीं तो कंटेंट क्रिएटर्स हैं.
Correct.
तो इट्स एनीवेज अ मेल्टिंग पॉट फॉर ऑल पीपल गुड लुकिंग एंड I mean, good looking is such a shallow way to put it, but let's say well put together people, right? So it's a big bunch. So I don't really know if it happens here. I would like to believe that all the relationships that I've been in life were because of the person that I am, and not because of the fact that I come from a certain profession. But yes, I don't want to be prudent when I say this. That I don't want to be a prude when I say this. That I do see equations between people where there's a power play of one person being more famous, and that does tend to happen. I necessarily don't subscribe to that thought, and I don't even enjoy being on the receiving end of it. Like I said, I truly feel like I'm at that part in my life where I need to see the person's soul when I'm interacting with them.
Right.
And if anything, I think I've gotten quite well trained with my failed relationships that I think I can see through it a bit quickly now.
Yeah, fair. There's this beautiful quote that says that we seek the other not to find them,
right,
but the part of ourselves that is lost.
100%. I say this very infamously that every single relationship that you've been a part of has been a reflection of who you were at that time.
And what have you found yourself looking for in the people? What is it that speaks to you in another person?
What I've learned of what I would need in a relationship is compassion. Is empathy. I think it's very easy to be emotional, and when I say emotional, I mean I comprehend that what I feel when you say something, like when you say something to me and it upsets me.
Right.
So I comprehend my own emotions, but I think in that same point to see where the other person's coming from, and to be empathetic towards that, and to put them forth instead of your own feelings.
Correct.
And to be objective towards it. I think that's the most important. And that's truly what defines a relationship, because you're going to have altercations every single day.
Right.
I see my parents, they've been married for like 45 years. I see them fight like siblings, right? But I also see them in love. So what I've learned is that you're going to be fighting probably at least once a day. So it's how you deal with the disagreement is what truly makes a relationship. And that only comes if you're an empath, or if you understand compassion. And one of my friends said this very beautiful thing and said, it's so simple. And this is much when I was really young. And he said that you have to treat every single relationship like it is something that you can't get out of. So I feel like when the intention is that, and you realize that both of you are on the same team, and you're fighting for love and not fighting against each other.
Correct.
I think that's what you want in a partner. It's very difficult to put it in a word, but I think that's what makes something work.
Yeah, the way to put it would be the diametric opposite of a situationship.
100%. I can't hack this time at all. I'm not a situationship guy, even though, like I said, it's so nice that you called me Biba Munda. It is so good to hear that, because more often, if not, I get this one terminology which I obviously don't want to use right now, and I fail to understand that. But yeah, situationships is not my scene. So because I'm an emotional guy, I get connected to somebody very quick, and
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
Let's see if you get what he's saying.
Yeah. So I can't hack situationships at all. And I found myself in one, when I recently got single about 3.5 odd years ago, And I found myself in one without realizing it, right? And I was on this outdoor schedule and I was shooting, and I thought like, wow, I've it's so nice that I've found someone.
Yeah.
And this is sweet. This is so lovely. And how the early times of, oh gosh, I can't even call it a relationship. You get the jitters. You're excited to pick up the phone, and you're working around the clock because you're on 2 different time zones, to only realize that when you came back, that there is nothing to really look forward to. And I was like, wow, this is new. I've never been on the receiving end of this.
Oh man.
So yeah, I can't do a situationship. It's not my thing. I don't know if that's what you asked me.
Yeah. And are you in tune with the terms that are used these days? There is benching, and there is situationship, and then there is.
I know situationship.
Yeah,
I know. Breadcrumbing.
Yeah, there's breadcrumbing. There's benching. So that do you think is a?
I don't know what benching is though.
I think it's when you have like a substitute ready.
There's a bit of me that I don't even want to, because I feel like I don't want to learn these terms because they're just going to stick with me in the head. And I'm a bit of an overthinker. I'll be like, oh, is that what's happening to me?
Yeah. I guess the most we think about is ghosting. वहाँ तक समझ में आता है.
I've been ghosted also once.
Yeah?
I've been ghosted out of nowhere.
What happened?
You got ghosted, yeah? Suddenly out of nowhere. Everything is going great. And like we're having like dinners with my family. And out of nowhere, actually, yeah, it was a bit funny.
वो उस लेवल पे पहुंच के ghosting
नहीं, मतलब अच्छा मेरे साथ वो ऐसा नहीं है कि family doesn't mean कि यार I'm making meet my family.
अच्छा
मैं मतलब my parents and I and my family were like all brothers sisters in the same house, bunking it.
हाँ.
तो मतलब because I do live with my parents.
हाँ.
You will bump into my parents at some point or the other if you're in my house.
हाँ.
So it's like one of those.
Sweet. And do you find yourselves ever thinking about, because you said you're an overthinker, do you ever think of your type, like the person that you would be like, I feel like you said compassion is a thing, you'd want that person to be empathetic. Is there a type, and have you ever found yourself falling for the opposite? I'm like, ये कैसे हो गया भाई, ये तो I never thought.
You usually find yourself falling for the opposite only.
It's
the exact opposite, because I guess मुझ में है वो कहीं कि I want to like, I like a bit of a challenge also.
Yeah. Interesting. And आपने family की बात बोली, so I do want to talk about this once just on camera to set the record straight, because we spoke about this offline. Your name is Karan Tacker.
My name is Karan.
It is not for Instagram.
It's not for Instagram. It's not because I became an actor. I know I do get that a lot.
Yeah.
I used to get that a lot. But no, it's always been like that. If anything, we never questioned our parents up until people started questioning us. It's much later, because school में तो किसी को इतना interest नहीं होता कि Tacker वगैरह क्या है,
Correct.
It's only once people start talking to you in interviews are people curious. So this happened at the time that I was an actor. But yeah, that's it. Tacker ही है, बचपन से लिखते हैं.
Probably the only Tackers though, we know.
Yeah, my family tree is the only Tackers. Like I was telling you that, my chachas and my tayas, we are literally just the only Tackers.
Yeah.
So even when I go for a bank, and I'm filling a form, like they can see the tree goes to Delhi because that's where my cousin brother is. So yeah.
Interesting. And we were also talking offline about the interesting career you've had from where you started. You were talking, you said, नहीं यार मैं तो business management कर रहा था. I had a very different trajectory in life. वहाँ से यहाँ कैसे आ गया? Acting, how it happened? I know we spoke about this. I'd love for you to tell us about that, and then we'll talk a little bit about how your early acting days was.
यार इसका जवाब ना मुझे अब देते हो ना कभी-कभी मैं भी सोचता हूँ इसका जवाब करेक्टली कैसे दूँ, because इसके 2 तरीके हैं. या तो I really milk this moment because I've seen actors do it, like I did very tough and all, but I feel like I'm in such a good place in my life that I don't want to milk it, but if you milk it, we'll
just put some nice music behind it, and
I want to cut the long
then we'll
story
milk it on
very
Instagram.
Short. So I studied business management.
Right.
My father had a business of his own, which was distribution of garments, and we came from a very regular middle class family. And I started a line of retail stores with him. I had about 3 stores in Bombay. This is, I think, I don't know what year it was exactly, but this about, I think, 17 years ago, where there was a massive world recession that hit because of a bank crash that happened.
Yeah.
And every single business around the world got hit. And we were a very small business and we got hit quite badly.
Yeah, 2008.
And that is the year that we had just expanded to 3 stores. So I remember it so vividly that we went to Thailand for our purchasing. तो हमने 3 दुकानों के लिए सामान ले लिया था. और रिटेल कैसे काम करता है, रिटेल सीजन्स पे काम करता है कि आपकी दिवाली एक सीजन होता है, ईद एक सीजन होता है, न्यू ईयर एक सीजन होता है. और उसी साल आई थिंक ताज के अटैक्स भी हुए थे. सो आपकी क्या कहते हैं, दिवाली भी फेल चल रही थी बिकॉज धंधा नहीं था. New Year's also didn't work because this happened in 26/11. So we got a very bad hit where we had to shut down our business, and we sold my house, we sold our cars. I had to shut down my stores, and I had no place to put the stock because I was living with my family in the godown of my
shop,
of my office. So we had to remove the stock. So I remember that we had put a sale outside my store saying buy one get 6 free. क्योंकि माल या तो आप जला देते,
करेक्ट,
रखने की जगह नहीं थी क्योंकि गोडाउन में हम रह रहे थे. तो दैट इज व्हेन I hate saying this now, but I told my dad, I was like, Dad, let's just run away from the country. Let's just figure a place that we can get out because there's so much loan on us. Because loan also is a very funny thing. You take a business loan, to repay the business loan, you are taking loans on your credit cards. And we were just in a really bad shape financially. And this is the time when people used to come to your house, to collect money.
Correct.
And they used to send thugs.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's just escape. So my father one day sat down. He's like, no, we'll fight it. And thank God that, he instilled that in me. And my father got a job. Somebody who was a businessman for the last 35 years. And it was tough for him.
Yeah.
It's not easy when you come from business background to go and apply for a job, especially at that age when you have 2 kids and everything going on.
Correct.
And my sister got a job and I had just finished my management. मेरे को 30,000 रुपए की नौकरी लग रही थी और हमारे पास कर्जा कुछ 2-2.5 करोड़ का था. और 17 साल पहले 2.5 करोड़ used to be was stupid amount of money.
Yeah.
So I had applied for a purser within international airlines and I got through because international flying was the only thing that gave you a lot of money. So I was getting a salary of 90,000 rupees a month, and that felt like, this could be at least some money. At the same time, because a lot of people used to come source from my store for clothes, one of them said that, why don't you test for this one television show that is happening? And I was like, I'm not an actor. Then, look apart and all that. Like you said, television, you need looks. So I went, I tested, I got the part, which was quite ironic. I had actually tested for an ad at that time, which was a fairness cream for Nivea, and they made me their face. So things also happened very quickly for me. I don't want to lie about it, but it took me about a good. मेरी पहली जो 6 साल की इनकम थी ना, वो सिर्फ बिजनेस लोन उतारने में निकल गई. मैंने एक्चुअली 6 साल के बाद पैसे कमाने शुरू किए हैं. तब तक आई वाज ओनली पेइंग ऑफ माय बिजनेस लोन्स. And that's the story. And today, quite frankly, it's amazing. I love what I do.
Yeah.
I didn't even understand acting for a very long time when I was doing television. It was truly about just looking good, having fun, being jovial. Like just आपको समझ तो थी नहीं आप क्या करो. I was also so young. I was not from the.
Right.
अच्छा मेरी फैमिली में कोई फिल्म भी नहीं देखता.
मतलब
we didn't come from that background only कि हर फ्राइडे जाके पिक्चरें देख रहे हैं या कोई कैसेट्स खरीद रहे हैं.
अच्छा.
मैं सुनता हूँ बाकियों के इंटरव्यूज and I'm like I never had that bent. तो मैंने एक्चुअली एक्टिंग समझी बाद में. When I took a break from television, जब मैंने I did a bunch of workshops, I was like, wow, this is what people say that this is my craft.
Yeah.
पहले you just heard these lines like art and craft. I only comprehended it much later, and bro, I'll be very honest, I love it now. It's crazy how this industry just takes you in. And वो सही कहते हैं कि एक्टिंग एक बहुत बड़ा कीड़ा है. एक बार लग जाए ना तो उससे निकलना बड़ा मुश्किल है.
Correct.
आप कुछ भी कर लो, आप जिंदगी भर एक्टर हो. आप चाहे कल मैं बंद भी कर दूंगा ना एक्टिंग, मेरे अंदर एक एक्टर रहेगा ही. So today I'm just in immense love with what I do, and I couldn't be happier with the way the industry's also accepted me.
Sweet. And आपने एक बात बोली कि things also started working out for me.
Right.
Nivea ने face बना लिया. And you said I've been lucky. I think it's because of the fact that you said ना, आपके father ने बोला कि हम लड़ेंगे.
Yeah.
It's that when you take a stand and you're like कि नहीं अब तो I am taking my destiny into my own hands and I'm going to fight. At some point in time, it's like that thing कि मैंने 10 ट्राई कर लिए, मैं 11वें पे मैं छोड़ दिया, बट 11वें पे ही सक्सेस था. क्योंकि आप 10, 11, 12 आप चलते गए.
बिल्कुल.
So life was also like, okay भाई, I have to give it to him. Here you go.
और ये भी कहना मैंने रियलाइज किया कि reminiscing ना is very poetic.
हाँ, correct.
ठीक है.
Romanticize करने
मैं
में
आज बोल सकता हूँ कि मतलब ये things move quite quickly. और मैं कभी भी खुद while I'm saying these things, I'm like, yeah, should I really delve into how difficult it was? But by I know I keep mentioning family, but you know, I'm really close to my parents, right? I remember one day, you know, when I bought a really expensive car, right? And I was sitting and we were sitting in my car, and my dad and I were going to a business associate's wedding. This is once I became an actor.
Right.
I just told my dad, I got a bit overwhelmed, you know. Usi din gaadi aayi thi. I was like, Dad, did you ever think that, you know, we'll reach this point? And my father is just unfazed. He's like, yeah. And I was like, you know, how do you stay like that? He's like, I don't know what you guys keep making a big deal about, you know, that it was tough and whatever. He's like, this is the nature of life, yeah. You know, life is tough. So he's like, you guys look back at that time thinking that it was really bad and it was this and that. For me, it was by the way that it had to happen. It happened and we moved past it.
Wow.
So that learning actually told me, and it's taught me really that I don't like to glorify my struggles. So I know that, you know, when you do an interview with let's say you've never spoken to me before.
Yeah.
So, you know, it does become a sense of curiosity where you come from.
Correct.
But truly heart to heart, I don't like to say कि मेरी जेब में उस टाइम पे 200 रुपए थे, मेरी मम्मी ऐसा कर रही थी, ये था फलाना. Because मुझे लगता है आज तो जिंदगी अच्छी है ना यार.
Correct.
So I want to live in the today, you know.
Very true.
While I want to hold those moments very close to me. But that learning from my father was very interesting. That he's never gotten emotional. He's never gotten overwhelmed.
Wow.
We will, you know, as a family, we'll be like thinking and we'll be like, oh my God, it was so tough. My father's just looking at us thinking, and technically, मेरे dad के साथ हुआ था.
Correct.
Right? If I really look back at it, हम तो मतलब उस time पे मतलब I was a 21-year-old boy, but it was my father's business.
Correct.
Majorly that went bankrupt.
Yeah.
So he never got faced by it. Why am I taking it so hard? So
Yeah.
that really empowers me to go through my struggles personally also in my career. And thank God that I'm really close-knit with my family and, you know, I have this kind of upbringing.
Yeah. You have the thing now, मेरी struggle नहीं थी, मेरी journey थी.
मेरी journey है.
वो नहीं होती तो आप, you wouldn't be this person right now, na?
Yeah, I mean,
Made you what it is.
100%.
And also what you said about your father is also, you know, one of the greatest learnings from the Gita.
Yeah.
The Bhagavad Gita is that to be sthir.
Right.
You don't get unfazed.
Yeah.
You don't get overwhelmed in times of success and you don't get underwhelmed in times of losses. That's one of the greatest learnings of the Gita, that you have to be sthir. Exactly what you said, like your father said, वो तो वक्त था. It's like that. आएगा जाएगा, change होगा.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's damn nice to hear.
Well, it's
that.
nice to learn.
But tell me about those days. आप जब ऑडिशन करते थे उस समय पे, I'm guessing आपको पहला वो मिला. Was there a line of auditions? Because अब चीज़ें बहुत different है ना. Instagram है, reach outs बहुत अलग तरीके से होते हैं. अब अगर आपको एक्टिंग करनी भी है तो आपको पहले अपने फॉलोअर्स भी बताने पड़ते हैं कि मैं एक्टिंग तो करना चाहता हूँ लेकिन मेरे पास फॉलोअर्स 10,000 ही हैं. बोलेंगे अच्छा ठीक है, फिर लाइन के पीछे लग जाओ. तो पहले कैसे होता था? एंड डू यू रिमेंबर एनी इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरी ऑफ पीपल फ्रॉम योर टाइम हु वर ऑल्सो गोइंग क्लाइंबिंग द लैडर विद यू, हु नाउ आर successful, and you know वो moment होता है, sometimes you look at each other be like, we made it.
It's so ironic you're asking this, man, because when I was driving to your office, I was speaking to my makeup man who's been with me for I think almost 10 years now.
Wow.
And I was coming towards from Mahalakshmi, right? So I was like, यार एक पार्ट मेरी लाइफ का है जो मुझे लगता है कि मैं वापस नहीं कर पाऊंगा. वो एक्चुअली मेरे स्ट्रगलिंग डेज थे. That was really tough, man. And I was just telling you right now कि अपने घर से मुझे एक 266 करके बस होती थी जो फीडर बस थी जो आपको स्टेशन लेके जाती थी. You had to take a bus. You had to then go take a train. और मेरे पास टैक्सी के पैसे नहीं होते बिकॉज टैक्सी वॉज लाइक 16 रुपीज फॉर 1 मीटर. तो उस टाइम पे तो आप मीटर देखते रहते कि जैसे मीटर बदला ना आप बोलते यार टैक्सी रोक दे, मेरे को उतरना है. तो या तो आप सिंगदाना खा सकते थे, उतने पैसे हुआ करते थे, या आप टैक्सी ले सकते थे. तो महालक्ष्मी स्टेशन से उतर के आई यूज्ड टू बाय 2 रुपये के सिंगदाना, इतना बड़ा आपको मिलता था. एंड देन यूज्ड टू वॉक टिल फेमस स्टूडियोज एंड ऑडिशंस यूज्ड टू ओनली हैपन देयर. So I had to come from Andheri and do that. And this is going to sound very dramatic to say, but I'm just going to say it. Now, I really didn't have money. So I had one t-shirt, one jeans, and one sneakers. So I used to wear that. I used to carry that in my bag. I had like a little sling. And everything was fake. I remember it was FC UK की fake jeans थी, लोखंडाला से ली थी, plain white t-shirt थी, और fake मैंने Converse के जूते लिए हुए थे. और वहाँ जाके मैं बदलता था, वहीं पे बाथरूम में आप हाथ मुँह धोए और आप अपने ऑडिशन देते थे. और एक्चुअली प्रोसेस वही था. और फिर आप वापस चेंज करके फिर महालक्ष्मी तक चल के जाओ, एंड ऑल दैट यूज्ड टू हैपन. सो आई फील लाइक दैट पार्ट ऑफ माई लाइफ आई एम सो हैप्पी आई डोंट हैव टू डू एनी मोर, बिकॉज like I said, it's nice to remember it like this, but it was really tough, man, and it was not fun. It's a very, very lonely journey, right?
Yeah.
Because there is no guidance here. You know, you don't know what you are doing. You don't know. You actually have no idea for the longest. I feel that times were very different now.
Correct.
There is so much information. You're so informed as an actor.
Yeah.
Is why you find today's new actors who are doing their first projects also that they come out quite okay. You know.
Yeah.
Because there is just so much information.
Correct.
So yeah, those were tough days, but nonetheless, you know, it was a part of the journey, so it's all good.
But how do you get through that those moments? I'm sure you had absolute moments of self-doubt.
Yeah.
And when you go to these auditions, you realize that बहुत लोग हैं. जब वो room filled होता है, you know, I remember that scene from Luck by Chance is always strikes
Actually,
me.
वैसे ही है.
हाँ, because I've been in audition room, so I understand. जब पहली बार मैं गया था for
Correct.
an ad audition, and I realized, and I was like, oh, and बहुत फिल्मी है, but that scene hit me of सपनों से भरे नैना, and I'm just like, oh damn, it's like that. बैठे हैं 50 लोग, and आपको लग रहा था आप तोप हो, फिर आप देखते हो भाई ये तो सब थोड़े बहुत जाने पहचाने भी दिख रहे हैं, अच्छे भी लग रहे हैं, और पता नहीं क्या होगा. एंड देन एड्स में तो आपको पता है इमीडिएट होता है कि आप फिट हो या नहीं फिट हो, बिकॉज उनके दिमाग में एक स्पेसिफिक परसेप्शन है. तो बहुत रिजेक्शंस होते हैं.
Correct.
उस पॉइंट पे हाउ डू यू टेल योरसेल्फ दैट नो, आई एम वर्दी, आई एम गोना गेट थ्रू दिस?
यार मैं बताऊं, उस टाइम पे आपको पता ही भी नहीं होता कि वर्दी क्या होता है. ये मतलब आज आप बोल सकते हो कि वर्दी क्या है, बिकॉज आज आपको चीज़ की वर्थ पता है. आपको पता है अच्छा क्या होता है, बुरा क्या होता है, एक्टर क्या होता है. मुझे बिल्कुल नहीं पता था. आई एक्चुअली वेंट इन ब्लाइंड एंड आई लर्नड लिटरली एवरीथिंग बाय लाइक ऑन द जॉब. आई जोक अबाउट इट, आई एम अ ट्रिपल थ्रेट. I'm a nice looking guy who lives in Andheri and has done TV. So I am somebody who will never get work in this industry, right? Because I am everything that is wrong with me to get casted. Television actors don't get casted. If you're good looking, you don't get casted. और अगर आप अंधेरी से तो आप वैसे ही label हो जाते हैं. You know, for the slightly higher ups.
Correct.
So when I often drive around my area. There's something called the back road.
Yeah.
In the evenings, and I see some people, who were with me when I used to test. And I see them still, unfortunately, in that rigmarole. And it just makes me very humble and makes me realize that, man, this industry is tough. It's too tough. It's not easy. And truly speaking, and I'm not trying to sound humble about it, some of us just get lucky. And then over a period of time, you use that to get better at your craft. But there's so many people who might be much better than me at what I've done. It's just... you just crack luck and something works in your favor. And sometimes those drives really just stay with me, because I'm like, I mean, of course, thank God.
Yeah.
You do feel very thankful to where you are. And just feel a bit empathetic also, that it's not easy, man. It's not easy for everybody. And everyone has their own journey. It's not... I remember like recently, someone, a director met me and he's like, my writer's coming. And I met writer and he gave me a narration. पूरी narration कब खत्म हो गया, हम बैठ के discuss कर रहे हैं. And he's like, you don't recognize me. I was like, no, I didn't. Sorry, I mean, sometimes you don't recognize, if you met somebody. He's like, bro, you and I used to test at the same time in this Nirvana hall and all. And it got me so overwhelmed. And I really just, both of us got teary-eyed, because those were tough days, man. Auditions don't happen like that. And actors really have it much easy.
Correct.
Also, there's so many avenues. उस टाइम पे सिर्फ ads थी, films थी, television था. कुछ काम ही नहीं था. और TV में भी सिर्फ 3 channels थे. I think Star, Sony and Z, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And अगर आपके पास उन 3 चैनल पे 3 शो आया करते थे. एक मैटनी का शो आता था और 2 प्राइम टाइम आते थे.
Correct.
अगर आप इन 3 शोज, मतलब तो टेक्निकली 9 हीरोज हैं एक साल में. अगर आप 9 हीरो में से हीरो नहीं हो तो आपका उस साल में काम नहीं है. और बॉम्बे कितने लोग एक्टर बनने आते हैं.
करेक्ट.
तो उतना मुश्किल हुआ करता था तब.
बाप रे.
आज नहीं होता. आई एम साउंडिंग लाइक सम वेटरन व्हेन आई से
तब. बात सही है.
फैक्ट है 15 साल पहले द फैब्रिक ऑफ एंटरटेनमेंट वाज वेरी डिफरेंट. आज इतने ओटीटी प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं, इतना काम है.
करेक्ट.
इतने एवेन्यूज है टू इवन जनरेट इनकम, राइट? वी गॉट इंस्टाग्राम एंड दैट्स क्रेजी फॉर पीपल.
So it makes sense.
We got so overwhelmed, because we come from a very different time of a struggle, and today he's writing, which is great. But I'm sure somebody who wanted to be an actor, right?
Yeah.
There is a very different charm to being an actor versus, of course, writing is amazing. We as actors are nothing without it. But he came to be an actor, man.
Yeah.
So, these moments just really stay with you, and they really make you feel like, what, just make you want to thank somebody up there that,
no, fair.
You got it going for me.
Correct. नहीं, आपने बात तो सही बोली.
I have no idea what you asked me, by the way. I think I went on.
I was just figuring out if there are contemporaries.
This became a therapy session for me. I was almost at that brink of being at that first podcast where I shed a tear.
I'm glad. No, I was just wondering if there are contemporaries who did come up with you today that you sit with and be like, we made it together.
मेरे contemporaries में actually मैं सिर्फ television के contemporaries देख सकता हूँ. मतलब, Vikrant made it. Sorry, but I mean, because he's not there anymore. But Sushant made it, in his good times. While they started their career before me, so they're not really my contemporaries. But I was doing television around the time they were also doing television. Yeah, but it's nice. Yeah, in fact, I feel like बहुत जरूरी है एक इंडस्ट्री को फ्लरिश करने के लिए.
Correct.
आउटसाइडर्स का सक्सेसफुल होना बहुत जरूरी है.
Correct.
बिकॉज वैसे ही नया टैलेंट आएगा.
बिल्कुल सही बात.
तो मैं तो हमेशा मैं जब कार्तिक को भी मिलता हूँ, कार्तिक आर्यन, मतलब मेरा कोई ऐसा कोई खास दोस्त नहीं है, बट जब भी मैं मिलता हूँ, आई टेल हिम, मैन, मोर पावर टू यू यार. लुक एट व्हाट ही इज डन विद हिमसेल्फ. He's the top star of the industry today. There are films made and greenlit only because he's a part of it.
Correct.
Ayushmann Khurrana, I feel like these boys are doing crazy. I mean, Vikrant after 12th fail especially, look at the trajectory that he's having. So I feel like it's extremely imperative for outsiders to do well. It really propels the industry in a very, very different direction.
Very true. Very true. You said something very nice. कि avenues बहुत हैं अब, which is very true. Which is why there are some people who have one show on Netflix, then one on Prime, one on Hotstar. There's a Khaki, then there is something else, and there's a special ops. So avenues are बहुत हो गए. From the
I like that underhand compliment. Thank you.
From the conversations we've had on our podcast, only this theme has come out 1 or 2 times. Is the fact that you said, like you said, ये तो TV से इसकी वैसे भी casting नहीं होगी. That we've had Lakshya. From Kill,
correct,
who came on our show and he said he was very successful on TV, but he said उसके बाद 7 साल तक काम नहीं मिला,
correct,
before he got casted and then became an overnight success.
Correct. Actually, even lucked for that, but when you asked me that question for Contemporaries,
Raghav Juyal came on our podcast and he said that he had to voluntarily and very, very consciously vanish for 5 years to be taken seriously as a film actor, because he was doing so much TV, he was anchoring, and some people loved him. And they both came from this common theme that in their life they felt that sometimes there's a stigma that TV actors aren't taken seriously. Or, ये तो TV actor है, हाँ तो TV में करेंगे. But there are some people who've made it from TV and have transited into more mediums. There's you, there's Vikrant, there's Sushant, there's Lakshya, Raghav. Have you felt that stigma around you, and do you think it's changing?
100%. It's so ironic if Laksh said 7 years, because that's exactly what happened to me, and I joke about it sometimes कि मैंने actually 7.5 साल break लेके मुझे काम मिला था.
आपकी 7.5 ही चल रही थी.
और मैं बोलता हूँ कि मेरी 7.5 ही चल रही थी. मेरे को actually कभी I want to like look it up कि वो वाकई ऐसा था कि नहीं था. But नहीं यार, ये वाकई सच है. Easy नहीं है टेलीविजन एक्टर्स के लिए. एक पता नहीं हम पर ऐसा क्या ठप्पा लगा हुआ है that is so difficult to put us in a casting. If anything, I would like to believe that you would want to encash on the fame of actors from television. One, and the fact is that we are the most mechanically sound actors out there. You can give any television actor any script, any big, any language, and he'll be ready. He or she will be ready whenever you need him to be ready. They know camera angles really well. I don't know about lensing, but because TV works differently, but I think we're the most mechanically sound, the most less camera conscious actors, because we put in that many hours in front of the camera, right?
Correct.
Because we shoot every single day when we're doing TV. So yes, I don't know why the industry is so stunted in casting an actor from television. If anything, you should take it into your stride and use that. And very honestly speaking, I just came back from a meeting from one of the top leading platforms that are only looking at actors from television to create formats now for shows.
That's great.
Because television actors do hold a certain standing.
Correct. Very strong community. Yeah.
That probably actors from films don't. So yes, I would like to believe that times should change. Are they changing? No. I know for certain how much someone needs to believe in me to then fight with a studio or a platform to get me casted as an actor. Because the first thing that comes is that I'm an actor from television. In fact, the channel that I worked on has a platform of their own. But when I had to be cast on that platform, even they had a reservation that he's from television. And it really kind of hit me thinking that technically I am from your own platform. So it's ruthless. It's quite tough. And thank God for Neeraj Pandey that he actually fought for his casting. And I'm just really happy about it.
He was hell-bent on the people he wanted.
Yeah, and not because I don't want to give myself credit, because something just worked in my audition for him that kind of made him want to do it.
Right.
But the fact is that he stood by his own guns, and he really pushed for me for special ops. Otherwise, this Sade Saathi would have never ended. बट क्योंकि मैं भी ढीठ हूँ, मैंने ठान ली थी, मैंने टेलीविजन से ब्रेक लिया था कि अब अगर मैं एक्टिंग करूंगा तो मैं वही काम करूंगा जो मैं करना चाहता हूँ, वरना मैं होस्ट कर रहा था उस टाइम पे तो मैं ठीक था। बट ये भी फैक्ट है, ये राघव ने बड़ा सही बोला है, जिस टाइम पे हम लोग टीवी करते थे और मैं बड़ा होस्ट किया करता था टेलीविजन पे, I met a leading PR person in this, and they told me, stop doing everything television. To an extent, don't even click photos with actors from TVs who are your friends. Stop meeting them, stop hanging out with them. Don't have anything of TV attached to you. And I'm assuming that that person meant well for me, because of course, that advice must have come from some kind of a experience that they must have heard or been a part of. And I actually did that. I actually had to do that. So I stopped hosting. I stopped because I used to host a lot of IFAs. I used to host a lot of reality shows.
Correct.
I stopped doing every single thing on television. And it became a requirement of the hour, and you did that for your career, So I personally don't know why an actor needs to do that. But at that time, well, that's what was asked of me from multiple makers. And so I did it, man. I did it, yeah.
Wow. And the second part to my question is also something you said when you meet people like Kartik. You said it really fills your heart when you say that it's important for outsiders to make it, right? Again, another long-standing debate is the outsider versus nepotism debate.
Is that really a debate?
Yeah. Please go on.
No, I'm just asking.
No, we agree. See, from our perspective, and we've heard a lot of people come on this podcast, we understand that people want to give chances to their own family. It's obvious. हर जगह होता है, business में होता है, politics में होता है. आप देना चाहते हो कि I've built a certain standing. I want my next generation to benefit from that. But उसमें जब वही chances बार-बार मिल रहे हैं, and you know that there are people who are worthy, जिनकी वजह से वो चांसेस खो रहे हैं, देन व्हाट डज दैट रियली मेक्स यू फील लाइक एन आउटसाइडर? दैट यार मैं तो वो सर्कल के अंदर ही नहीं घुसा हूं जो मुझे लगा था, आई हैड माय फुट इन द डोर.
As in, like, what's the question on it? So this is a statement that I agree with.
Yeah. So what has been your experience as an outsider? How strongly is that? You still feel that?
I'm still an outsider. I mean, to think about it, I've not worked with any camp that really works with actors from the inside, right? So, I mean, my maximum bulk of the work has been done with Friday Storytellers, which is Neeraj Pandey, who is an outsider himself. And he's one of the makers that I can proudly say in his filmography has given the maximum amount of work to only people from the outside.
Correct.
To the point that, let's say, Atisha Patni and a Kiara Advani or a Sushant were in MS Dhoni, right? So they were all outsiders technically.
Correct.
I mean, I'm an outsider. After being, let's say, had made my shift to OTT, which I think is 6 years and counting now, I still find myself as an outsider because, most of the times what happens is the bulk of the work is so centralized now that it's 5 people who are making a call for the entire industry. And earlier there was a demarcation that at least you had television, films and OTT. But now if you think about it, the lines are blurred because, I don't know what's the best way to say it, but let's say, I mean, actors from films that might not necessarily be doing the best are on OTT because there is no accountability of box office, right?
Correct.
So whether their shows are doing well or not, but you find them being a part of extremely high production value projects which might have a big budget around them.
Yeah.
And, they're flourishing and they're doing well, even without the numbers really coming through.
Correct.
I don't have a problem with all this. My problem is a bit different. My problem is that today when I want to do a show, and let's say if my show requires a budget of hypothetically 30 crores, but because I'm not a film actor, whether I do well in films or don't do well in films has nothing to do with the fact that I'm not going to get 30 crores to make a show. I'm going to get a much smaller budget. So what that means is I'm going to get less time for pre-production.
Correct.
I'll have to go tighter on a team.
Correct.
I'll have to scrunch my entire schedule into what might be a 60-day schedule and finish in 45. Everyone will have to put in extra hours. I'll have to tell my team, myself to cut costs. We'll have to get all top technicians to cut costs, whoever wants to come in that budget. So that is where I feel like the hole in the system is. That I don't have a problem with any kind of nepotism. I mean, why should I? Who am I to really have an opinion on it, right? It's not my business. Whoever gives jobs to whoever, they know what their business is and they know what their business requires. But yes, I do have a problem if I have a project that I want to floor and I need money for it.
Correct.
And you as a platform or a studio don't want to give that to me. And I'm unable to bring my credibility to that point, because I'm not getting those kind of opportunities, that is where I feel like it becomes a bit difficult.
Fair.
I don't know if you're
No,
getting
makes sense. Yeah.
like if I'm being
No,
able to
absolutely makes
articulate the
sense.
business
Yeah.
end to you. And which is what I faced on a recent show that I did. And I felt like, I wish we had a few more days. We'd be able to work better. Because we were doing 20-hour night shifts. 20-hour night shifts is really long. That you start at 4 in the evening and you're wrapping up at 10, 11 in the morning, and you're expecting your entire unit, which is your lightmen and all, to come back. As an actor, chalo, theek hai, you're the top tier of the pecking order. But people who are carrying lights, they have to pack up the entire unit and they have to open it up the next day. They get barely 2, 3, 4 hours of sleep. Yeah.
Correct.
And when you're crunching everybody, the quality has to drop, right? And then you have to just take it for granted that this is what it is.
Correct.
You can't do better. So that is where I feel like there is a problem. Second is, see, as an outsider, I can't make a mistake. I have to make sure that I pick a project which on paper, one, I align with creatively. Second, it has to sound as correct as possible, given the cards that are dealt to me. Because if I make one bad choice, or if one project of mine doesn't fare well, I'm not going to get another opportunity to headline another show, which I feel like somebody from the inside, and there's enough testament of it, gets time and again. And that's where I feel like that's where the discrepancy is.
No, fair. And you feel like Special Ops was that turning point for you?
100%.
With now and so much love received for the show, right? The fact that we've been waiting so long for a second season. I don't think there's ever a trailer dropped on Hotstar's YouTube where there's not a comment saying ये सब तो ठीक है, but Hotstar का season 2 कब आ रहा है?
मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूँ, obviously क्योंकि मेरा शो है तो मुझे पता है, हमारी ना 1 हफ्ते डेट पोस्टपोन हो गई थी because of some things. मैंने जब वो डाला है ना कि 1 हफ्ते डिले हो गई है, मुझे हिंदी में गालियां आई हैं.
अरे बाप रे.
तो मुझे बड़ा अच्छा लगा. मैं कहा इसका मतलब लोग इतना ही बेसब्री से इंतजार कर रहे हैं. Of course इसका क्रेडिट मैं ले नहीं सकता because it's a very large ensemble, and of course it's got the backing of Mr. Pandey on it.
Correct.
But it feels really good to be a part of a show like that and a legacy that is just carrying on. And yes, it's really, this show's really given wings to my career for sure. I feel like Special Ops Khaki, it really changed the way people perceive me within the industry, and somewhere I'd like to believe that the tag of being an actor from television has I don't want to say shed off, but has been accepted beautifully. I don't want to shed that off. I love being from TV.
Fair.
I mean, I love my days of doing television.
Correct.
So yeah, I mean, I think Special Ops did that for me.
Fair. सोशल मीडिया पे गाली पढ़ने से याद है मुझे एक चीज़ कि सोशल मीडिया पे एक परसेप्शन भी है ऑफ अ लॉट ऑफ यंग बॉयज हु सी कंटेंट फॉर व्हाट it means to be a man, to make it successful in life, right? But we as boys, as men, usually don't talk about our insecurities and where we are vulnerable and be like, मुझे ऐसा बनना है अपनी life में, I want to secure something and I want to make something out of myself and I want to provide, and even though it's not, I mean, the boundaries and definitions are changing with time, but हमारे मन में है कुछ ना कुछ instill होता है in most boys. A lot of these young guys are going through this phase of, am I worthy of what I see and how do I be a man? What do you want to tell them, given your journey, that what is masculinity to you today? And 2, how can they fight through this for that 19-year-old boy somewhere who feels unseen and is not sure if he's going to be the man he wants to be?
I'll be honest. I personally believe gender and gender roles don't need to be defined. I feel like you are perfect when you've got a balance of both. And you are perfect when you know how much of what to use at what point. What I mean is that how much of your feminine end do you need to use and how much of your masculine end do you need to use. And this is for both the sexes, be it a man or a woman. And I feel like I don't necessarily define a time by me being masculine about it. I feel like everyone should be emotionally robust enough to be the backbone of their time. First of all, be a backbone for yourself and for a backbone of everyone around you. So I feel like the older you get, or maybe the more successful you get, you realize that there's a lot of people who are relying on you. If you are the breadwinner of your family, be it a man or a woman, your entire family relies on you, right? To work and to make money and to bring that money back home. So you have no option but to be emotionally strong.
Yeah.
You realize that you've got an entire team of there's staff at home. You've got a hair and makeup team that looks forward to you going to work, because when you go to work, they go to work.
Yeah.
So you have no option but to put the best foot forward. And like I said, life is tough, man. A part of my life really taught me something. I remember I was going through a very rough patch personally in my life and professionally. Actually, professionally, I was okay. It was around the release of Khaki. I was on an all-time high, and I was just going through a really bad time personally. And I was unable to comprehend my emotional state of being at that time. And I was very bogged down. And my father was dealing with cancer at that time, right? And I was just such a mess that I didn't find myself, for lack of a better way of putting it, man enough to be there for my entire family. And I had a really, really bad few months, up until one day I realized that, my dad, who's battling life, is so strong. Why am I letting these experiences get to me this much? And that became a turning point for me. That made me realize that at no point in my life I want anyone around me to feel like I am the dependent. Everyone needs to feel that they can depend on me. That's the man I want to be. That's the human being I want to be. Like I said, it's very agnostic to whether you're a man or a woman.
Correct. This reminds me of two things. There's this beautiful saying कि किसी को मुकम्मल जहाँ नहीं मिलता, किसी को ज़मीन, किसी को आसमान नहीं मिलता. So you never have everything in life at all points in time. And because you spoke, of have that backbone strong. On a lighter note, there is this beautiful line that Jackie Shaw says, Jaku Dada. He says, "Bidu, अपना मेरुदंड सीधा रख." That means keep your spine straight. कुछ भी हो life में, keep your spine straight.
That's so true, and so tough to do. It's so tough to do. It's so tough to keep your head held high in the toughest times in your life.
Correct.
But that's life. Yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Fair. Have you had a very weird or funny fan encounter that like, यार ये मैं जिंदगी भर नहीं भूल सकता?
Yeah. Yeah. I've had a really strange one.
Okay.
This is when I used to do television actually.
Okay.
I used to go to London a lot because there's a lot of shows that used to happen that I used to be a part of. I remember this one time I felt like I'm being someone's walking everywhere that I'm going on the way back. And this was, I think I was in Leicester or somewhere. I can't remember exactly what city I was in. And I remember going up to my room and I came down to the reception again. One of my friends was coming, so I was catching up with him at the bar. And I saw this, I saw the same person, sitting there. And it was a girl. So I figured that, maybe it's a fan, right? And she has come and plonked herself at my table, which is also okay. There's no problem with that. I want to tell you, it was the peak of December winter. And she's suddenly taken off a bunch of layers of her clothes and she's just sat down at the reception with all of us. And me and my friend, we were both so awkward. And I did not know really how to respond to her other than the fact that it's nice to meet you. We're gonna take off, and we literally escaped. I know this sounds very, very weird to say because I don't think usually you expect this coming from a man. But it's a very Aitraz-ish kind. I don't know if you've seen Aitraz as a film that nobody believes the man's story. But it was a very similar moment like that. And thank God for being level-headed that me and my friend just escaped the scene. But yeah, it was a strange experience because I don't think I was mature enough to really know how to handle it, but I'm glad that I was smart enough to have escaped it.
Fair. And there was this very fun Reddit thread that happened when you went to Cannes, and people said people went wild. Some even said that you would look good even in a sack.
We were walking the streets of Cannes, gosh.
Yeah, I also don't know what.
I say both all the time.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's two parts of the world that agree to both.
Correct.
And I could see two ladies, not Indian, and they were, they kept pointing in our direction, and we were walking towards each other. And one of them screamed out saying Viren. And Viren is my character on television.
Correct.
It was just so lovely to know that people from Morocco and Tunisia and that ends of the world are into Indian television and Turkey. One would never assume that, right? Sitting back in Bombay.
Yeah.
So when incidents like this happen, it's so sweet.
Have you had a moment where you were giddy meeting a celebrity?
Oh, 100% Khan, man.
Yeah?
I'll tell you what happened in Khan. It was really funny. So I had gone for my own film, Tanvi the Great.
Right.
So with a soft plug-in.
Yeah, nice.
And everyone kept talking about the red carpet. But not our red carpet for the film. The one that happens at the Lumiere where everyone clicks that one photo and everyone.
And वो कर ही रहे होते हैं लोग आपको हटा देते हैं.
मैं आपको बड़ा फनी बात बताता हूँ इसके बारे में. तो मैंने कहा यार क्या है यार ये रेड कार्पेट मतलब हमारी फिल्म के लिए आए हम उसके लिए इतने एक्साइटेड नहीं है जितना एक रेड कार्पेट की टिकट मिल जाए उस पर फोटो खिंचवानी है.
करेक्ट.
तो आई वाज नॉट रियली लाइक गंगो अबाउट इट बट मेरे पे भी इतना प्रेशर था. मेरी बहन मेरे को बोले जाए लिसन यू हैव टू गो यू शुड गेट क्लिक्ड आई वाज टेलिंग लाइक Sash व्हाट्स द बिग डील इट्स जस्ट अनदर रेड कार्पेट लाइक वी डू रेड कार्पेट्स इन Bombay ऑल द टाइम लाइक व्हाट्स द बिग डील राइट.
Yeah.
I remember I was sitting with a work associate grabbing a lunch and someone called me from the team saying that listen we've gotten a ticket for the red carpet and you have to be ready in 20 minutes and reach there. अब कान में ना गाड़ी नहीं चलती आपको चल के जाना पड़ता है मतलब वो जितना फैंसी है वैसा कुछ फैंसी नहीं है. आप मतलब यू आर वॉकिंग 3 kilometers बैक टू योर होटल एंड देन सूट बूट पहन के बोटा वगैरह लगा के आप वापस 3 किलोमीटर चल के जा रहे हो. Where the main stuff happens, unless of course you're like the big wigs and you get like everything else. मैं तैयार हुआ होके पहुंच गया यहाँ पे. अब मुझे कहा गया था कि आप जाओगे आपको इंस्ट्रक्शंस देते हैं वहाँ पे. तो पहले तो आप लाइन में खड़े होते हो एंड अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ यू डज फील के यार मैं बड़ा फूलिश फीलिंग आ रही है मुझको. मतलब मैं दिन निकला हुआ मैं सूट पहन के बोटाई पहन के बाल बना के मैं लाइन में खड़ा हूँ फिल्म देखने के लिए. तो like what is happening यार. Cut to where the minute they open that one door where they usher you that please go in and you have about 500 photographers and everyone is screaming. And when I walked in I'd gone for the Spike Lee film. Now Spike Lee is one of my biggest heroes, right? I mean I grew up watching his films.
Right.
And then Denzel Washington walks next to you.
Oh man.
And you have Dakota Johnson. You've got Jason Momoa, and they're literally like at one arm's distance. So I'm not joking. This is what happened with me. I walked in and I saw that and I froze because there's so much chaos.
Yeah.
And someone literally had to tap me saying that, sir, please, we request you to, whatever. Like, they were speaking in French, but I figured that they're saying, please get it moving, man. Get over the moment.
Yeah.
And so and then it's funny because no one knows who I am because it's a Denzel Washington film, and you've got Travis Scott coming, you've got Rihanna coming. Nobody cares. Karan Tacker has come from India to get a photo clicked at the red carpet. So you are also like, you're smiling and you're clicking and you're waving and you're doing all of that because अब लोग फोटो तो खींचे रहे हैं. आप उम्मीद में हो कि अच्छा आपको सिस्टम बताते हैं कि आपको फोटो खिंचवा लेना बाद में आपको फोटो कहीं से निकलवा के दे देंगे. So the funny part is I know you have to meet eyes with the photographer. That's the whole thing. It's like mild flirting on red carpet with the photographer. So if you've looked at me, I've looked at you. So I'm like, मेरी फोटो खींचो यार. अच्छी फोटो लेना. So you're taking a moment, you're clicking a photo until someone tells you please go. So I remember I told him अच्छा मैं ऊपर जा रहा हूँ और ये सब साइन लैंग्वेज में चल रहा है कि सुन मैं ऊपर जा रहा हूँ मेरी ऊपर फोटो चाहिए मुझे staircase पे because that's the famous staircase, right? Correct. So I've gone up, I'm looking behind, he's like go up. I've gone up, I'm looking behind, he's like one more step up. I'm like, is this okay? He's like, this is okay. So I'm like, I felt so stupid when I look at those photos because I'm like, what's the big deal? Like, why are we doing this? Why are we subscribing to this model of what fame needs to be, right? And you feel so absurd as a human being, forget an actor, that what are you doing? But of course, we posted all those photos. I sent it on my family group. It made everybody really happy. It made me also happy. I'm not going to take away from that. But Kans was interesting like that. But yes, I want to tell you, I was sitting 3 rows behind Denzel Washington, and he's God for me. There's no, Denzel, and he got the Palme d'Or that year. And De Niro was there at the same time in Cannes. Just knowing that you're breathing the same air
Wow.
with your heroes was magical as a feeling. And I'm so happy that I went. And, firsts are so special.
Yeah.
So this is one that is going in the books because it's also for a film that I went with, and that was really special in itself. And Cannes was amazing like that. And I want to be honest, I'm sounding like an emotional guy. I was so overwhelmed. I had tears in my eyes when Denzel Washington, he went to the bathroom in the middle, right? And I was on the first seat of the where you have the seats.
Yeah.
And he walked past me, right? And I was just like, like it does that to you, right?
Yeah.
So it was lovely. I had such a good time.
Damn cool. Yeah. It's so nice to hear people getting happy and
but अच्छा लगता है यार, like,
hero se mil. As we conclude, there's a side of yours that you haven't explored, and I wanted to shed some light on that, which is the entrepreneurship aspect of your life. Talk to us a little bit about that. What's happening there?
I've always had a business bent. Maybe thanks to my dad. And what happens with us actors, especially with somebody like me, I shoot roughly about 180 days in a year, and the rest of 200 days I'm fairly free, if I'm not really prepping for something. So I always wanted to have a business end of my own. So I just about a year and a half ago started this one brand. It's called Gunda.
Okay.
It's GOONDA. So we started a tequila. So it's an all Indian agave spirit. And we've been working on it for a year and a half, and it's finally seen the light of the day. We're in Maharashtra and in Bombay especially right now.
Oh, nice.
And so it's my baby. I've been working on it for a while, and I'm so happy that it's already out there. And so I started actually with rum. First, I came up with the name Gunda. Then we came up with the ethos of the brand, which is everything vice and fun. And we started off originally with rum. So we trekked to Mauritius, we trekked to Jamaica. We got a few barrels in to eventually, which we realized that maybe this is not the moment for rum, and tequila is really happening. It's more topical.
Yeah.
So we got someone from Mexico to come in with a bunch of barrels. We did some mixing to learn that we've got agave in India. That's what tequila is made from. And I was like, you know what? He is very nationalist like that. I was like, why not? Why go abroad when you can do it right here, right? So I wanted to make something that's all Indian. It's made in India. It's distilled in India. And the endeavor is that when you walk out of a duty free in Bombay, you want to be like, hey, you know what? I want to pick up an Indian agave, like how we pick up spirits from the West.
Nice.
So that's the endeavor, that's the dream. And we've got a beautiful product. I'm really proud of it. You should try it. We should have been sipping this over instead of tequila.
बहुत अलग
it would have been
podcast
a
हो जाती
really
है.
different side of humans of Bombay. But yeah, man, I'm just really happy that happened.
That's awesome. I hope it does for you what Rock was able to do with Teremano.
Yeah.
It's insane. So congratulations. That
Thank you,
sounds
man.
awesome. For my absolute final question.
Go for it. You can talk to me more. I'm actually enjoying this.
You've very, I know you don't like talking about the fact that you've had to go through a journey of your own, but what I want to talk about at the end is what you've learned from it, right? A lot of people on their day, they say be kind to people, you don't know what struggle they're going through today. But especially in the context of people coming to Bombay, trying to make it, probably रोज हजारों लोग आते हैं, and like you said, उस समय 9 actors होते थे, अब शायद 90 होंगे, 90 होंगे, right? The percentage of making it is still very less. And the world is becoming smaller because of social media. So you feel like हर इंसान को लग रहा है social media पे they are left behind. So in today's day and age, where it feels like every day feels like I don't know if I will make it. I don't know if I will get to where I want to get. And because you've had moments like that in your life and you've fought through all of them.
Yeah.
What would you tell people? What would you tell the youngsters especially who and trying to be actors or any point in their life?
We live in such a synthetic time.
Correct.
Where everything is being dictated to us of what is success.
Yeah.
You wear a nice watch, you wear the nice clothes, these are brands you need to buy. That's the car, that's the holiday destination, that's the holiday spot you need to take a photo at. And that's when you feel like you've arrived.
Correct.
And everything is about life, is become about business class, expensive food, culinary, things. And I was like, you know what, hold on. I don't subscribe to this model at all. Being great is being you. That's the belief that I have. And that's also the tagline of my brand because of that reason. And that's where it comes from. So if I had to really advise somebody on anything, I would be like, you know what, it's very important to pick the 5 closest people to you. Because more often if not, if you'll realize in your life, we're always trying to do things, wear the certain kind of clothes, look a certain way, pick the decisions of our life, our partners, our careers, because we are afraid of being judged by the 5 closest people to us. So I feel like if you change those 5 people in your life, it's very, very liberating. Or if you choose to not have those 5 people in your life, it's extremely liberating. That you are not afraid of anyone's judgment of your success or your failure. It's all on you. So you will make every decision of your life for yourself. You will be happy about your failures because you are learning from it. It's bothering you. Because हमारे साथ यही होता है यार, अगर मैं फेल हो गया मेरा दोस्त क्या सोचेगा यार.
Correct.
अगर मैं एक्टर नहीं बन पाया, मैं बॉम्बे आया था, मैं गाँव तो नहीं वापस जा सकता. राइट. मैं अभी सुपर बॉयज और मालेगांव देख रहा था और मैं बड़ा रेजोनेट किया एक थॉट से. उसमें जो राइटर का कैरेक्टर है वो जब बम्बई आ जाता है वो बोलता है यार अब मैं वापस तो नहीं जा सकता क्योंकि मैं अपने दोस्तों से लड़के आया हूँ, मैं कुछ बन कर आऊँगा, मैं वापस नहीं जा सकता. तो अगर आप ये फियर निकाल दोगे ना और ये दोस्ती बदल दोगे, ऐसा मेरा मानना है, फिल्म हैज अ हैप्पी एंडिंग, तो आई फील आपको बड़ा एक एम्पावरिंग और एक बहुत लिबरेटिंग फीलिंग आती है. और ये सोच थोड़े टाइम बाद आती है लाइफ में. इट्स नॉट वेरी इजी टू अडेप्ट इट or to even realize it. So that's my only takeaway from life, that you need to really choose who you call close, because I feel like we use this word very easily. But Tanvi the Great में ना एक बड़ी अच्छी line है जो ट्रेलर के एंड में आती है. I tell Anupam sir also कि सपने देखने से कोई किसी को रोक नहीं सकता. You know, तो it's good to have a dream. It's good to have, your dream should be as large that someone says you're an idiot. Correct. You know, like you're stupid to feel like you'll become like the biggest actor. Correct. I've only had naysayers in my life. I have never had anyone who I consider senior in my life to be like, hey, you know what? Go for it, man. If anything, they've always told me the other way. So I don't want to be that person. I definitely want to tell anyone that if you've got a dream, you should see it through. But see it through with a reflection of honesty.
Yeah.
You should be smart enough to know when it's not working for you. I feel like most of the times this industry is like a mirage. Correct. I say this a lot of times. You feel like यार अब हो जाएगा. It's like, you know, you see water in the desert from a distance. You're like अब हो जाएगा. And you're just constantly chasing. But थोड़ा एक होना ज़रूरी है कि you know कि यार, because एक point of no return आ जाता है. जैसे मैं जानता हूँ कि अब मुझे कोई जॉब नहीं देगा मेरी बिजनेस डिग्री से. अब मैं इतना आगे हूँ, तो अगर मैं फेल कर जाता हूँ मुझे कोई नया ऑल्टरनेटिव ढूंढना पड़ेगा. Correct. तो आई फील लाइक वो पॉइंट ऑफ नो रिटर्न आपको पता होना चाहिए क्या है. एंड that's the understanding you should have कि if this is working for you or not.
Nice. I love that. That's a great note to end this. To do that, to believe in yourself, do it for yourself, and remember, कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना.
बिल्कुल.
This has been fantastic, Karan. This is your first podcast. I hope you had a good time.
I did.
Thank you so much for taking the time, and all the best for everything that you're doing on the acting front, on the business front. We hope everything sees success, and we'll hopefully do more parts with you. And thank you again. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me, man. This was a fun chat.
Thank you.
Thanks.